Next step, flip the cube over so now the blue's on top. We're going to try to solve these two edge pieces on all sides. How do you do that? Look on this top layer to find a piece that has no blue in it. Here's one, a white and orange piece. What you're going to do is you're going to rotate this orange until it lines up with its orange. Now you're going to notice, like I said before, it has white on top. So obviously this edge piece here would have to go here to be the orange and white edge piece. So that's where it's supposed to go, right? So this is shifting it to the right. And this is the algorithm you use to do that. Up, right, up inverse, right inverse, up inverse, front inverse, up, front. Sorry about that. Anyways, so there that goes. Now we have this one solved, just like that. Moving on, we look for another piece. Here's one, yellow and red. Since they're lining up with the yellow, and now you want it to go to the left. So this is a different algorithm. This algorithm, to make it go to the left, is up inverse, or left inverse, up, left, up, front, up inverse, front inverse. And you're going to notice it puts it right there. And again, if you're not getting this, rewind it and watch it again. So now we look around and find another one. And if you don't have any more here, I will go over that in a moment. So just be patient and I'll try to explain if you don't have any more pieces here that don't have blue on it, that's what I mean. But I still do, so hold on a second. We're lining this up with the red. And again, this is red and white, so it's got to go to the left. So to do that, the algorithm once again is up inverse, left inverse, up, left, up, front, up inverse, front inverse. And there's that. Now, just like if you're in a position I'm in right now where there's no pieces on top of here that don't have blue in it, it's because you have one piece in here already that's one of your edge pieces that's flipped the wrong way. In my case, it's in the right place, but it's flipped the wrong way. In your case, it might be in another place and not even right at all. But to get this out, you simply just put one. If it's in the right side, you simply shift this down here to get it out, which will put it back here, and then you just spin it around and put it back in. If it's on the left side, you just simply do the left one. So you're just replacing it like you normally would. So to do it, you want to shift this one to the right, in my case. So it's up, right, up inverse, right inverse, up inverse, front inverse, up, front. See now, I switched it with this piece, which is like my substitute piece, and the piece I want, like I said, went back here, so I simply just spin that around, line it up with the yellow, and let's go back to the right again. Up, right, up inverse, right inverse, up inverse, front inverse, up, front. And there you have it. You should have both of these layers solved, with the green still not messed up. The next step is getting a blue cross up here like we did the green cross. But in this case, we don't have to line these up like we did in the beginning. Don't worry about that. We'll do that afterwards. So there's different patterns you can have up here. You can either have a dot here. You can have like a square, what I have. But we call it the backwards L, which is right here in the top left corner, backwards L. Or you can have the cross already, or you can have some kind of like zigzag pattern. So simply, if you have what I have here, the backwards L, you just put it in the top left corner and you do this algorithm. If you already have the cross, don't bother because you can just skip it. And if you have the dot, you can do it from any side. You can do it from this side, this side, this side, this side. But the algorithm you need to do is this algorithm. Front, right, up, right inverse, up inverse, front inverse. Okay? And this will get you the last pattern I forgot to mention. Sorry about that. Sometimes you have this bar. And if you have the bar, all you need to do is make sure it's horizontal. So you can do it this way or this way. Okay? If you have the dot, it's going to take one time to get to the dot to the L. It's going to take another time to get to the L to this bar, and it's going to take one more time to get to the L to this bar to the cross. If you already have the bar, it's just going to take one time to get to the cross. And if you have the L, it's just going to take the L to the bar to the cross. I know it's a little confusing, but just think of it, if you have the dot, it's going to take once to get to this backwards L, it's going to take another time to get to this bar, and it's going to take another time to get to the cross. If you already have the L, it's just like before, except you just do it once to get to the bar and once to get to the cross. And if you already have the bar, you just do it once to get to the cross. And that's simply what it is. And again, if you have the dot, you can do it from any side. If you have the L, just make sure it's in the top left corner. And if you have the bar, just make sure it's horizontal. So again, I'm going to do it. Front, right, inverse, up inverse, front inverse. And there you have it. Shazam, the cross. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. Here's all the green, of course, and all those are still there. Have the blue cross. So what's the next step, you're asking? Well, it's to line these two up. So look around the cube, and what you want to do is you want to get two of these lined up. So you want to get two colors lined up here and two colors lined up here. And how do you do that? Well, if you're only seeing one, just keep moving it around, because no matter what kind of blue cross you have, there's always two lining up. And in my case, I have two here and two here. If you happen to have two here and then the other two are directly across from it, hold on a second, I'll explain what you do in that moment. But if you do have it like me, the way you're going to hold it is you're going to have one of them away from you and the other one to the right of you. And then you're going to do right, inverse, up, right, inverse, up. There you go. Sorry about that, that was completely my mistake. Now you'll notice that they're all lined up. Okay? But if you have them two here and two directly across from you, what you're going to do is you're simply going to hold it like that position and do the same algorithm. Just do not do the last part of the algorithm, which is the last up. Don't do the last up, because that'll mix it up. And what that'll do is it'll put you in the two position like you had before, where they're right next to each other. And then you just put one away from you and one to your right, and you do it again, and it'll get to this position. So now, what do? Well, last part of solving this thing is solving these corners. So how you do it? Look around the cube and try to find when it's in the right place. Sometimes you have one and sometimes you don't. In my case, none of them are in the right place. And what I mean by that is the two corners, or the two colors on the cube, match the two colors here. But in this case, I don't have any. So I'm going to do this algorithm from any side. If you do have one that is matching, you're simply going to do this algorithm from that corner being on your right. Okay. But just hold off 1 second and wait for me to do this once, and then we can continue, because otherwise you're probably going to get confused. But if you're like me, you can do it from any corner. And the algorithm for this is just simply up, right, up inverse, left inverse, up, right inverse, up inverse, left. Now, I'm going to look for a cube that's in the right corner, and here you're going to notice is one. Orange, orange, white, white. So now I put it in the right side. Now for the people that already were here, we're going to move on. Simply look around the other cube, the other corners, and see if they're in the right place. And if they're not, like mine isn't, we're simply going to continue. And if for some reason yours are, just wait again. And again, you're just going to do up, right, up inverse, left inverse, up, right, inverse, up inverse, left. And now you're going to notice it actually solved two of the corners, and two didn't solve. Sometimes you're going to have to solve all four still, but it does it differently every time. But now they should be in the right place at this point in time. It should only take twice after you get the correct corner. And simply you're just going to go back to the second algorithm I taught you, which is in this right side. You're just simply going to go right inverse, right, down, right inverse, right, down, right inverse, right, down, right inverse, right, down. And now instead of turning the whole cube and then starting on this side, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate this top layer so the next cube corner that you need to solve is in the same column. And just do it again. Right inverse, right, down, right inverse, right, down. And it takes one more turn or two more turns depending on how you solve it. And there you go. The whole cube is solved. Congratulations, you just solved your very first Rubik's Cube, and it's time to party because it's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can learn from this, and comment, rate, subscribe, favorite this video, tell friends about it. They want to learn how to do it too. And thanks for watching.